Good morning. This is your introduction to algebra lesson for Monday, March the 23rd. The first thing we want to do is I want to give you the answers to Friday's homework so we can check it. Once you have checked your homework, take a picture of it and text it to me. Make sure I can see your name on it so that I can record how you did and I can see where we're having any problems individually. Okay, so the answers are for problem set 98, number 14. The perimeter is 142 feet. Number 15, it is 0.0128731 kilometers. Number 16, x equaled 5, but your equation, your final answer is 4. Number 17, if you did these correct, x equaled 2, but your equivalent equation equaled 4. Number 18, x equaled 4, but the final answer was 8. Number 19, x equaled a negative 11 fourths. Number 20, x equaled negative 3. Number 21, negative 3 sevenths. Number 22, x equals 1/3. Number 23, negative 30. Number 24, negative 8. Number 25 equals 4. Number 26 equaled 5/2. Number 27, 69. Number 28, 88 fifths. Number 29 was negative 25. And number 30 was 2.4. Now, if you need any of those repeated, back to the recording up and hear the answer again. Again, once you have finished, put the number wrong at the top, take a picture and text it to me. That way, if you're having trouble with any particular problem, you and I can talk about it and I can make sure that you understand the material. Today, we're going to take a kind of a turn into some new material. It is called unequal quantities. Okay, so basically I'm going to tell you in a story problem, in a word problem, that two things are equal. But the only way we're going to be able to figure out what they equal is to work out an equation. Now, this goes back to when you were in elementary school, you learned some key words. You learned that in math that the word is means equals. You learned the word times means multiply. Less than meant to subtract. Okay? The word product, if I say what's the product of two things, what am I asking you to do? I'm asking you to multiply them. If we use the word sum, it meant to add them. If we had the word difference, I'm writing some of these on the board to help you. The difference is to subtract. Now, these are just a few, but I want to put these up here to help you as we go through these problems. Now, let's look at the board. What you have to be careful is you must be careful that the problem, that the equation that you write, that you're very careful with the words that are used. Let's look at the first one I've written on the board. I'm hoping you can see that okay. Okay, it says twice a number is 56 less than negative 72. What is the number? Well, let's go through here first and let's find some key words. We have the word twice. I'm going to circle that because that's a key word in my equation here. I also have the word is. That's a key word. And the words less than. All three of these are directions in essence. They're telling us exactly what to write down. So let's go back to the beginning. It says twice a number. Well, we know that twice means to multiply. And we don't know the number, so we're going to put n. So we're going to say 2n. We know that the word is means equal, so let's put our equals mark. Okay, now it says 56 less than. That means less than means I'm going to subtract. Well, what am I subtracting? I'm subtracting the 56. I don't know what I'm subtracting it from yet. So I'm going to go on out here and I'm going to write minus 56. I know there has to be another number here because I'm going to take 56 away from something. What am I taking it away from? Well, negative 72. Okay, so let's go back to the problem one more time before we worry about solving it. We have twice a number, which means to multiply some number 2 times. Is means to equal. Less than means I'm going to subtract this number right in front. I'm going to subtract the 56 from something. So I put 56. What am I taking the 56 from? The negative 72. Okay, so now I'm going to simply solve this. I'm going to say 2n equals. Now I have negative 72 minus 56. Well, we know that really what I'm doing is I'm going to add those two numbers and it's going to be negative. So I'm going to have a negative 128. Now, all I'm going to do is the opposite. All I did at this point was simplify, right? Now I'm simply going to solve my equation. 2n, to get n by itself, 2n says to multiply, so I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to divide. Divide this side by 2, but whatever I do to the left, I must do to the right. So these are going to cancel, leaving me n equals, well, 2 goes into 12 6 times, 2 goes into 8 4 times. But remember, my top number is negative, my bottom number is positive, and when you're multiplying and dividing, if the signs are different, your answer is negative. So my answer is negative 64. Let's try another one. 6 times a number is 14 less, I think I messed up a word, than, there we go, than the opposite of the number. Now let's go over here and write the word opposite. When I write the word opposite, what does it mean to do? It means make it negative, okay? So let's go look for our key words first. We have times, we have the word is, we have the words less than, we have the words opposite, okay? These are key words in writing our equation. So let's go back to the beginning. 6 times, what are we doing? We're multiplying. 6 times n, it can be x, whatever you want. So 6 times a number is. Okay, so 6 times a number is means equals 14 less than. That means I'm going to subtract 14 from something. Now, I don't know what that something is, but I'm going to write the 14 out here so I don't forget it. Okay? I'm going to subtract it from, because it says less than. Okay, here's your ding, ding, ding. Here's your little sign that says this is the first number. The opposite, which means make it negative, of the number. Okay? My number, I don't know what it is, so I'm going to put an n. So my equation is 6n equals negative n, or the opposite of the number, minus 14. Let's go through that again. We have 6 times, this means to multiply, so that's what I wrote, 6n. The word is means equals. 14 less than, I'm going to subtract 14 from something. What am I subtracting it from? The opposite, which means make it negative, of the number. Now let's solve this. I want to get rid of this n, because remember, I want all the n's on one side, all the constants on the other. So I'm going to add n, but whatever I do to the left, I must do to the right. When I do that, these n's cancel. 6n plus n, remember, there's no coefficient in front of this n, so we know that it really is 1, becomes 7n equals negative 14. Now I need to get rid of this 7 by simply dividing. 7n divided by 7, and 14 divided by 7, n equals negative 2. That is all there is to learning how to do these problems. Let's look in your book on page 277. Look at page 277. I want you to look at number 1. Twice a number is 34 less than 14. What is the number? Do not write in your book. But the first thing I want you to do is to decide what are your clue words. What are your clue words? Now, hopefully you saw the words twice, is, and less than. Write your equation. Write the equation. Okay, let's look at it together. If you're going to write twice a number, well, that's going to be 2n. I'm going to multiply. Okay, multiplying 2n is my next key word. So it is equals. 2n equals, look at the rest of your problem. What does it equal? 34 less than. So 34 is my second number because it's going to be 34 less than something. Okay, I don't know what goes in there yet. Keep reading your problem. It is less than negative 14. So put your negative 14 right there. Now, all we're going to do is simplify. Okay, so I'm going to say 2n equals, what is negative 14 minus 34? It's negative 48. Now, let's get rid of the 2. How do I do that? I'm going to divide. I'm going to divide each side by 2. My 2's cancel, leaving me n equals negative 24. Negative 24. Let's look at number 2. 6 times a number is 14 less than the opposite of the number. What is the number? Okay, well, go through, find your keywords, and let's write your equation. 6 times a number. Okay, so we have 6 times a number, 6n. Is means equals. 6 times a number is or equals 14 less than. All right, I've got to subtract 14 from something. What am I subtracting it from? Look at your problem. It says it's less than the opposite of the number. Opposite tells me to make it negative n. Now all I need to do is solve. Since I have an n on this side and 6 n's over here, I want to get rid of this negative n. Okay, so I'm going to add an n. But whatever I do to the left, I must do to the right. 6n plus n is 7n. These n's are going to cancel out, leaving me negative 14. So I'm going to divide by 7, because I want to get rid of those 7's. N equals negative 2. N equals negative 2. I want you to try number 3 and number 4. There's going to be a part 2 to this video, and we'll go over them. Do 3 and 4 before you turn on the next part.